Hello, everybody. My name is Marley Ray, aka Namaste Marley Ray, aka Marley Ralph, if you want my government name. And today we're doing something completely different. This is my first podcast alongside my father. So we are here today because it was my dad's. I'm not going to put out how old he is, but old enough. It was his birthday a few days ago, and we are always on phone conversations. And whenever we talk on the phone, it lasts for probably an hour plus. And he drops so many gems. He's always telling me things like, Marley, I gave you a rod so you can go fishing. Or, Marley, life is all about choices. And he's always telling me these things. And one day I said, Dad, you know what? We need to have a podcast. So we are here live at Aura House in downtown LA. And I would like to introduce to who you may know as Kelly on The Bernie Mac Show. You may know him as Romaine in Woo. You may know him as Spencer Boyer and about 50 other characters in A Different World. Tyrell Livingston on Cleghorn. He's worked alongside Johnny Depp, Spike Lee, Lena Horne, but most of all, he has been the most incredible father. He's inspired me to live my life to the fullest. He is somebody that I can depend on, somebody that I can talk to openly and honestly. And as he says himself, life, again, is all about choices, but most of all, life is always for the living. Life is for love. And so today, I want to spread some love on my father, Michael Ralph.
Hey.
Hey!
That's a pretty amazing introduction.
It's
Wow.
true. No lies were told.
Wow, thank you.
No
Thank you.
lies were told. Dad, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling amazing. I'm feeling blessed.
Yeah.
I'm feeling, as my father would say, as Grampy would say, too blessed to be stressed. Mm-hmm.
And
as
too
hard as
anointed
life
to be
is,
disappointed.
There you go. As hard as life is, you really have to look on the bright side of things.
So you just turned a whole new age.
I did grown man's age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At a certain point, does it just feel like, oh, it's just another day?
It does. It really is. It's okay. Thank God for another rotation around the sun, but it really is. It's just, it's another day. Always have an attitude of gratitude. That is something that I go through life, with every day. Mm-hmm. You just have to be appreciative for the good and the bad.
It's true. Why do you say the good and the bad? What about the bad?
Well, the good is easy, right? To really say, oh, this is great, this is fantastic. But the bad, I never think of it as a loss. I always think of it as a lesson. So anytime I can learn something new, oh, you know what, this went wrong. What did I learn from this situation? So that you don't find yourself back in that situation again. So it's never a loss, it's always a lesson.
So the good is still good, but the bad can also be good too.
Absolutely. I heard Tom Hanks, he was on a panel with Shia LaBeouf, Jamie Foxx, Christian Bale,
It's a crazy
and Robert De Niro, right?
Yeah.
It's great. It was a fantastic lineup. And they asked him, what could you tell, paraphrasing, of course, what would you tell yourself, that you know now, to your younger self? And it is, this too shall pass. Mm-hmm. Like, literally, not just the bad, but also the good. He's like, you have a bad day, don't worry about it, this too shall pass. You're walking the red carpet, everybody's screaming your name, you've got a blockbuster movie out there, this too shall pass. Mm-hmm. So just know that your situation is just the way it is. Your current situation has nothing to do with your future self.
Yes. Well, you've had many red carpet experiences. You've been in this game for a long time. Mm-hmm. I want to know, growing up for you, who was that role model that encouraged you to take on acting?
Interestingly enough, it was two people. It was Sidney Poitier, because he was the model for, I think, every young black actor that came. He was really, when you think about it, he was the first, not shucking and jiving. Mm-hmm. He was the first black man on TV that we can look at and aspire to. So I got a lot from looking at him and his career, but also, actually three people. Also Denzel. He was my era's Sidney, right? He just always was just positive and strong. And he was that guy, always dropped gems. I always listened to what he said. I spent a Christmas with him. One day, my auntie Cheryl says, "Hey, let's go over to Denzel's house for Christmas." I was like, Denzel who? Denzel
Just an
Washington?
ordinary
Just an ordinary
Christmas
hey,
day.
Come on, let's go.
Just
Let's
like,
go hang
on
out.
December 25th. Let's go hang out.
with Denzel for Christmas. I was like, okay. And sitting there in his house, he sat and he talked to us. First of all, like we were just family, but him and Cheryl were very tight together. But just like it was just, hey, we invited y'all over for Christmas dinner. And we had such a wonderful time, and being able to see him not just on the screen, you know, I would be amazed at his acting ability and his skills, but just some of just the regular random stuff he would say just as a positive Black role model in front of me, giving me all these gems and saying that, you know, you can do it, man. You can do it. You can make it, man. You just got to believe in yourself. Go out there and make it happen. And it did something to me. And I cannot leave out my sister.
Of
My
course.
sister was, you know, Cheryl was a force. And we learned all that from our parents. So, but just actors, it was Sydney, Denzel, Cheryl Lee Ralph. Those were my inspirations.
Those are three great inspirations.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about your parents. My Grandy, my Grampy. Grandy, lead, incredible fashion designer from Jamaica. Grampy was just like, I didn't want to say a triple threat. He was like a 10 times threat. He could do
Yeah.
anything. He was
Yeah.
performer,
Very
singer,
smart
dancer,
man.
actor, educator,
Smart
fashionista
man.
himself. He just
Pianist.
he was
Yeah.
a Renaissance man.
Yeah.
Let's talk
Dr.
about
Stanley
the
Ralph.
way that Grandy and Grampy raised you and some of the ways that what you took from them and how you raised your own kids.
They just, you know, it was a never quit attitude with them. It was a you can literally be whatever you want. It was a positive lifestyle with them. It's going to be a struggle, but you can do it. They gave me so much to think about. My father had a plaque on his desk, and it was one word, and it said, think. When you think about it, everything you do, every day you wake up,
Starts with a thought.
it starts with a thought. You have to think about everything you do in life, right? Or you just, what are you doing? You're just kind of la 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 la, just going through life blindly, and that's not why I think God gave us life. That's not why the universe gave us life. Come out here, do something with your life, and whatever you want to do, you got to think about it. So get it done. And my mother was just the sweetest lady. With all talk about gems, my mother dropped gems all the time. Michael, you have to think it into existence. Speak it into existence, Michael. Anything you want, you can have it. As long as you have family and God on your side.
It's true.
That was my mother. It's true. That's where I grew up from. And it would be, you know, I would be remiss to not share all of those gems that I got from my parents with you and your 4 brothers.
Yeah. You know, all the things that you say to me, it's interesting because when I talk to Coco and Etienne, or when I talk to Yana, or when I talk to any of my cousins, we are all raised on the same thing.
Yeah.
There's things they'll say, and I'm like, hold on. You
Yeah.
must have gotten that from Auntie Cheryl because my dad told me the same thing yesterday. So it's interesting how deeply rooted and ingrained
Yes.
the words of Grandy and Grampy were instilled in you.
The legacy of the Ralph family is real, and it really is embedded in positivity, growth, and progress.
Even, positivity, growth, and progress. That needs to go in.
That's a t-shirt.
Yeah, that's a t-shirt. That might be our subheader for Mike and Marley: positivity, growth, in progress.
That's right. I like that.
I like that too. That's going in the Instagram bio.
It's like you, what you just did. You spoke it into existence, right? You came up with the idea. You said, Dad, we should do a podcast. And here it is, my birthday gift from you. You started it. And that's a great thing. That's a great thing. Don't just talk about it, be about it. Right?
Be about it. Yeah. Bring it into fruition. If you have the means, bring it into existence. But I think also ultimately it's rooted in love. Yeah, it's rooted in making sure that we have something to look back on. Our times were busy and people are doing things, we're doing things, but I wanted to do something for you in this birthday where I can look back on and always hear your voice.
Yeah. I love that.
That's what I really wanted to do. That's where this is really coming from.
Well, job done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think you raised me pretty well.
Oh, thank you.
I think so.
Thank you.
What do you think your favorite part about fatherhood is?
It's so funny. I saw a post, and they asked that question. They asked somebody that question. It's watching your children grow up. The best part for me is watching them grow up and doing positive things. And what's the worst part? It's watching them grow up. Because you just want your children to always be, because you're at a point right now, yes, we talk and you ask me a lot, but you really are, you're autonomous.
I've been like that, though, I think, my whole life.
5 years old, Marley. 5 years old. Let me tell y'all, 5 years old. We finally made some money to move out of our 1-bedroom apartment into a 2-bedroom apartment, and Marley had her own room. And Marley walked in that room and said, bye, and closed the door. I was like, oh my, she doesn't need anybody to sleep with her. She doesn't need anybody to do anything for her. You had your room and you were set. And you've always been that way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I just remember I would always print out lyrics from Disney. Do you remember that?
I do.
I would always print out Disney lyrics.
I do.
And I would stay up all night and just sing these. It was like Aladdin. It was like Cinderella. It was whatever. And that was the only time that you all bothered me is when I was singing too loud.
Yeah.
And it would be 11 p.m. and I hear a knock on the door, Marley.
Yeah, man, go to sleep.
It's time to go to sleep.
It's time to go to sleep.
Yeah, I'm like,
you got school.
I'm just getting started.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're a dynamo. You are.
But I think, apple really doesn't fall too far from the tree. I think that I see you. I've always seen you make the right decisions for you. I've always seen you go after your dreams, even when it was hard. And I've also seen you make it work. I always say for people who are children of the industry, look at the industry completely differently. Because we look at it as, okay, are we eating tonight or are we not? Or are we not?
Yeah.
We look at it like, okay, my dad is going out for an audition. This can be really cool because, okay, he'll be famous and all that good stuff that comes with it. Yeah. But also he'll have a job. Right. He'll be able to pay the bills. And I think a lot of times when people look at the industry being in Hollywood, they don't look at it as these are people working a job and putting everything out.
And I heard you say one time, it's not, people don't see the work.
Yes, people don't see the work.
They don't see the work that you put in. All they do is they see that you're on TV and, you're good, blah, blah, blah. And, they give you accolades there, but they're not there for the acting classes. They're not there for the auditions. Yeah. They're not there for the preparation of the job. They're not there on set where it takes, lights, camera, action. That is mentally exhausting.
I was just going to ask, because, I'm Namaste Marley Ray. I'm all about the health and wellness. I'm always all about the Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Right. I'm all about, the peace of mind. Right. And I'm always curious, and I think this is something that people don't talk about, is the mental capacity that it takes to go after your dreams, no matter whatever it is. If it's acting, if it's singing, if it's whatever, name them all. the mental capacity that it takes and the resilience it takes to get from
Yeah.
point A to point B. Because point A sometimes leads you to point D, and then point D leads you to point Z,
Yeah, it's
and
never
then
a straight
Z
road.
comes back to C, and then you're back
Right.
to A.
Right. It's never a straight road. It's never a straight road.
How did you deal with those times where you're like, yo, I got a family I got to feed,
Yeah.
and I got to make sure that I give the best performance that I can? How did you deal with that?
When you're on the road to success, you really have to. It's the distractions that will take you off site. You got to learn how to focus. You got to keep your eye, and I hear Auntie Cheryl used to tell me this, keep your eye on the prize. What is it that you want? Because what's for you and what you believe is for you, right, is not for everybody else. You could tell everybody your dreams, your goals, and they might say, well, you know what, I don't know if that's gonna work. It might not work for you because God didn't give you my vision.
Woo!
I
Clocked
mean,
it.
right?
I clocked it. Hold on.
Right?
Hold on. God gave you a vision for you.
For you. Right.
I got my own vision.
That's it. So you try to share that. I've tried to share some of my visions with my family members. And they looked at me, they laughed. I was like, well, okay, I get it why you laugh because God didn't give you my vision.
Right. They
It's
can't see
my
it.
vision. They can't see it.
And that's okay.
That's fine for them.
Yeah.
But don't tell me what I can't do.
Right.
Don't tell me what's not good for me. You
Right.
don't know what's good for me.
Right.
I don't care. We came from the same womb. You still don't know what's good for me. Now, I'm not talking about something that's going to take you off your trail and go out there and you're going to do something stupid and you're going to end up in jail or whatever.
Of course,
right?
because
Nothing
if your
like
loved
that.
ones don't have concerns for you, then I'm like, okay, is that really
Exactly.
love?
Is
You
it
know,
love?
so they want
Right.
you to do the best,
Right.
right? Hopefully.
Right. But if I come up with a plan,
You're right.
if I have a vision, I say, hey, I want to, do this. I could possibly do it like this. And it could work out for me. And then they say, no, I don't think so. You should do it like, well, it's not your vision. It's not your
Yeah.
plan.
Wow.
So there it is.
So you just kept your vision,
I kept my vision.
and you kept putting one foot in front of the other.
And I had to. You
Yeah.
get the blinders on and you just move forward.
What's the song? Keep it moving, yeah, yeah, to the K-I-M. I keep it
Oh,
moving,
wow,
yeah, yeah,
that's
to the
way-
K-I-M.
Who's that, Tribe Called Quest?
Yeah.
That's Tribe, yeah. Yeah.
That was another thing that you used to do. That's probably why I printed out those lyrics to memorize them, because my father would grill me on lyrics, on rap lyrics. And so for the longest time, I did not know my times tables. And he was like, okay, well, how come you know all these rap lyrics and you don't know your times
Yeah.
tables? And so I
Yeah, I
always say
remember
that
that.
this is probably the coolest thing that you could have done. And I hope that more parents do this for their kids, is realize your kids' strengths and not their weaknesses.
Correct.
And so you knew that I loved music. That's been something that's been in me. And so
Correct.
you said, all right, here, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50,
That's right.
50. And we just put a beat behind everything. And that's how I learned.
Music is kind of like the easiest way to learn something.
That's how I learned.
Music and repetition.
Yeah, music and
Right?
repetition.
Yeah.
And so all night long, I was in bed,
Yeah.
5, 10, 15, 20, trying to get ready. And then I remember I had a biology test, and I thought of cells, they're made of organelles. You try to pull a fast one, the
that.
cytoplasm gels.
Oh my
And
God.
I was in my test, and I was like, cytoplasm. Nucleus. Because I was rapping
Yes.
in my mind.
And it worked.
And it worked, but it really started with Biggie Smalls. You were like, okay,
Yeah.
what is his name? Alan Coffett? Who is that? You would educate me on, you're like, if you're gonna rap these lyrics, then you
Right,
need to
you
know,
gotta know
what
they're
you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't mumble rap back
Right.
then. It literally was, they were talking about
Lyricism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
So yeah. It was
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
That's probably one of the greatest lessons that I've learned from you.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. It wasn't a fishing pole. It wasn't-
I mean, the fishing rod too, but it was a rod. You
Right.
know, that was the tool. And
Right.
I used the tool and I passed my tests.
I always thought it was good to give I think it's good to give your kids the tool, because you're not around them all the time. There was a time where you were like, you were on your own like 16, 17.
Oh yeah.
You were doing
I think I was
whatever
out
it
the
is.
house
I
at
think you were
17.
living at Park La Brea or something.
I was
You had an
I was
apartment
out
with,
the house at
yeah.
17. I think I packed up my car maybe 3 days after high school graduation.
And you moved to back
And I
into
moved
LA.
back to LA.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So I was gone. I was born and raised in LA, and then we moved to Palm Springs. Me, my mom, my little brother moved to Palm Springs. And as soon as I graduated, I was right back to LA.
Yep.
It was like I got all the lessons I needed to learn in the desert.
Yeah.
And I've been back literally ever since. And yes,
You've
I had
been
to
on your
figure
own.
it out. Yeah, I had to
Right.
figure it out. But again, I had the fishing rod.
That's the thing, and that's what I'm saying. Is I
Yeah.
think it's very important for kids to get the tools from their parents so that when their parents are not there hovering over them, they're able to reach into their backpack, pull out the tools, and be like, find themselves in a situation.
Right.
Oh, I'm hungry. Here's my fishing rod. Let me go fish.
Let me
You know
go
what I
get
mean?
a tuna today.
You know what I'm
Let
saying?
me make a tuna salad.
Yeah. It's the tools that help you get through life.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. What are some tools that help you get through life?
Some tools that help me get through life. Boy, I tell you, I got a bunch of them. There's a bunch of them. But I think right now, where I am, it's my belief in myself. It's my belief, knowing that I can get something done.
Does that come with age?
Some of it does. You'll find that with each passing decade, something different happens. Right? The 20s is the decade where you have to go hard. Right? There's no sleeping around, hanging out late. Just for me.
I
I'm
want to
just
sleep
saying.
around more.
I've been through. I used to hang out a lot in my 20s, and when I look back, I think I should have been more productive. And this is me. But what I did learn out there in the streets, because I was in those streets in New York City.
Okay, we'll save that for another episode.
Exactly. I was doing some things I shouldn't have been doing. But anyway.
Okay, bringing it back.
Anyway, yeah. Let's dial that back. So I learned in my 30s, wow, maybe I should have been focusing more on certain things. Maybe I should have focused more on my career. Maybe I would have went harder when I was younger as opposed to chasing some of the different things that I was chasing. And it wasn't as lucrative and rewarding as if I had kept my nose to the grindstone and kept on moving forward in a different kind of way. But every decade that you pass, you will learn certain things. And with each lesson, you're going to feel certain things and you're going to feel differently. When I was 20, I was worried about, does this person like me? Does that person like me? When I first got to LA, when I was in my early 30s, I was like, if I'm a nice guy, then this is going to happen and that person's going to like, nah. Life doesn't work like that. And the more you push, you don't want to force a circle peg into a square hole because it's just not going to fit. Right? So you're trying to figure out, what can I do to get this casting director to like me? What can I do to get this director to like me? It's, what can I do to get this actor who's in this big show, blah, 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 and the list goes on and on and on. But instead of you just being yourself, and I learned this in my 30s, my late 30s and my early 40s, just be yourself.
I think that you do an incredible job at being exactly who you are.
Thank you.
I'm so proud to be your daughter.
Thank you.
Every time that I'm around
so proud for you to be my daughter,
Okay,
too.
but this is about
sorry,
you.
I'm
This
sorry.
podcast is
I do.
about you.
I get touched when people tell me how I just met your daughter. She's so amazing. She's beautiful. She's smart. I love it. I'm just like, wow.
I appreciate it. But again, this is about you.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
And so whenever, it's the same thing though. I think it's mutual. I am your daughter, so it doesn't again doesn't fall too far from the tree. But everybody's like, "Oh, your dad is so cool." I mean, every single person that meets you is like, "Oh, your dad is tight. Your dad is dope. Your dad is funny. Your dad is cool. Your dad is swaggy." Like, it's just, the list goes on and on and on. And I will never forget when I put my threads. I did my threads post. I'm a little obsessed with threads. I love threads right about
I'm
now.
not really into it that much. I should get more.
I mean, I like it. I
More?
think that it's like what Twitter used to be
Used to
back
be.
in the day, like
Yeah.
at the beginning of Twitter, before it got, even though threads can get kind of toxic sometimes too, but it's not at that level of like politicism yet, I think. And
Right.
so people are just on there just asking questions
Right.
and
What's on
sharing.
your mind kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
what's living rent free in your head,
Right.
that's threads. And
Right.
so when I posted your old headshot and you got your afro, please just imagine this man right here. Look into the camera. Okay, imagine this man with an afro and a full-on mustache
Yeah.
and the same teeth, the same smile. That was the headshot that I shared on Threads. And I had posted, I think it was Father's Day. I was saying, "Happy Father's Day," whatever.
Yeah.
And so many people responded back like, "Hold up. Where has this man been?"
Yeah.
Everybody's like, "He's an
Somebody-
incredible actor." What they
Somebody
say?
said, "Oh, please tell me that this man's not dead."
Oh yeah, well you always get that. People always assume that somebody's dead online. I'm like,
right.
no, I'm
When
just
you just post a
I'm
picture.
just sharing some love.
Right.
But that shows how traumatized all of us are right now.
Yeah.
But again, another episode for that conversation.
Right.
But you got such an outpour of love
Yeah, I
and
did.
people wanting to see you back on camera.
Right.
People were like, "Hold on, we're ready for him to come out of hiding," because
Yeah.
we enjoyed seeing his coolness, his face on our screen. So I'm wondering, is that something that you would ever consider again?
I'm back. I've been
Don't look no
auditioning.
farther. You know, it's like, maybe I'm right
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm back. I did their last episode of their 6th season called The Family Business.
Come
with,
on.
Ernie Hudson and Darren Wilson. Darren Wilson, was that his name? Darren, I'm sorry if I forgot your last name, but Darren, super cool cat. Was on Soul Food. And,
Okay.
But yes, I did an episode for them. And of course, I play a Jamaican. And the beautiful
Yes.
thing is I was auditioning for 3 months before I booked the job. And my manager, Laura Palace, I love you, she called me up and was like, "Hey, you got an offer." I was like, "I got an offer for something that I auditioned for." She was like, "No, they're just offering you this thing."
Wow.
Because allegedly they couldn't find a Jamaican who really sounded like a Jamaican
Of course.
or who was a Jamaican.
Right.
Who
Right.
is a Jamaican. So I did. I booked the show and I'm back. And I think it already, thank you. I think it already aired. I don't even know.
Well, you should post it if it is.
If it is, I'm a post the scene. Yeah.
Okay. I love how you whispered, but the
Yeah.
mic is
Yeah.
it's right there.
But yeah, I do. I still do I didn't get out of the business. So I didn't have to change, lanes, right? I'm still in SAG-AFTRA, the union,
Right.
and everything is in place. My pension is still working for me, thank God.
Period.
All of that, right?
Right.
So I didn't have to really, jump lanes. So I'm still acting, and it's every day I go to work. I'm doing improv. I'm doing voiceovers and stuff, and we're doing the same thing. So
Yeah.
it's good. Yeah.
And also improv, it's like you're just being yourself.
Correct.
You're getting paid to be yourself. Even getting hired as a Jamaican, you're getting paid to be yourself.
And you're still working on your craft.
Yes.
That's what I love the most about
Yes.
voiceover work that I do, which is looping. So I love doing that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you definitely gave me that fishing rod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was more than a fishing rod. That was
That
like
was.
I gave you a little boat. I gave you a little boat to go along with that rod.
Yes.
That's really is a good situation. And when both of us are on the stage together,
It's a whole nother thing.
That really does.
That's
something
really
to
the
my
place
heart.
where, as soon as people hear that I'm your daughter, they're like, "Oh, wow."
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's a really nice, company that we're around.
Yes.
really
Absolutely.
positive people. You work with some great people, and it's good. It's good.
What has been one of your best memories on set? On set or in the studio, whatever.
One of my best memories on set would be working with Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac he was the quintessential artist. Like he was really good. He took his work very seriously, but made the environment so happy, welcoming, and comfortable for everybody else to be able to create, to let their creative juices flow. He was like, I don't care. Some cats I've worked with who they don't want you to necessarily be funnier than them. Bernie said to me, he said, "Hey, yeah, when I first met him, he says, yeah, hey, Michael Rep, I heard you was clever. I heard you got some jokes." And pretty much his thing was, if you think you can be funnier than me, then go ahead, let it rip. I want everybody to win. I want everybody to eat. So that to me it was just such a comfortable environment.
It changes everything.
It really does.
Yeah, especially when somebody's humble, when somebody's encouraging you.
Really
It
does.
changes the whole
I
vibe.
worked on the flip side of that. I worked on a show, and I'm not gonna name any names, but I worked with this actor, and he was just not a nice person. And he was the star of the show. It's like, why are you so angry? You're the star of the show.
Right. Be happy.
Be happy.
Who said it was Plies? Did he say that? He was like, why you mad? Be happy.
Be happy. Why you mad? You're here. This is what you worked your whole
Right.
life to do. Now you're doing it in front of the world. Why you mad? And why are you treating people who come onto your show? You're trying to get them to be the best that they possibly can. Why are you acting like you got an attitude? I worked with a few of them like that. So that's not a good place to be. But Bernie Mac was definitely, he was on top of that list. He just made me feel really comfortable.
I mean, I think everybody remembers your episode on the Bernie Mac show. We all remember when Kelly got dumped.
Kelly's Heroes, yes, yes. Kelly got dumped. Yeah.
What was that like? Do you remember filming that episode?
I do.
You do?
I do. I remember it like to a T.
Because I think that's everybody's favorite episode.
It's really.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
It's
That's
all
good to
over.
know.
It's all over the internet.
That's good to know. Yeah, I did. I saw a couple of clips
Yep.
of that episode.
I think it's you, and all of those moments with Jordan.
Jordan was hilarious. Jordan was hilarious.
Yes.
That character was just amazing.
And then tell us about working on a different world. How did you manage being so many characters at once?
That's where I learned how to do what I do.
Wow.
That's how I learned how to. All those young black actors on that show: Kadeem Hardison, Darryl Bell, Jasmine Guy, Cree Summers, Dawn Lewis, Charnel Brown. They taught me how. That was the first show that I was on really regularly.
Right.
Right. So first started as an extra, then went on as a stand-in, and then got multiple under fives. So being around them and being around Debbie Allen, I learned so much about Hollywood, but also young black Hollywood, how it was different for us to move through this environment, in a classy way.
And what a time to do so.
It's fantastic. I went to HBCU.
Come on.
I was the only one in that cast who went to
an HBCU. I never knew that.
The only one who went to it wasn't HBCU, but Dawn Lewis went to University of Maryland.
Okay.
Right. So we talked about that just a little bit, but being able to have that experience at an HBCU, I graduated from an HBCU. I went to an HBCU, and then I saw this television show on, and I was like, that's what I want to do. I remember sitting in my room in New York with my buddies, Bernard, Keith Williams, and I think Russell Bullock. And we were sitting in my bedroom, and an episode of A Different World was on. And I said, I'm going to LA to be on that show right there.
And you had already known Kadeem at that point.
I
You
knew
all
Kadeem
knew
as a
went way
teenager.
back. Right.
Yeah, I was 13. Kadeem was 11, something like that, 11, 12. Yeah, I've known him for a very long time.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so after HBCU, you went to LA. You're now at a new HBCU with your friend who you've known since
But it was
high
crazy
school.
because I was at a place called Penny Feathers. It was New Year's Eve. And this was my first year in LA. And I'm walking in, and Kadeem is walking out. And we had forgotten that we knew each other, right? So I was like, yo, my man, I love your show. Blasey, blasey this, blasey, blasey that. Can I come and see your show? He was like, yeah, bro. He gave me a number and said, call this number, tell him you met me, and you'll be there. And I went. It was the Egby episode with Marissa Tomei. This was first season of A Different World. And he called me up. He said, what's his name? I forget his name. David Blackwell. David Blackwell, the first AD, called me up, said, hey, Kadeem said this, Kadeem said that. You want to come see the show? Yes, I want to come see the show. Got to the show, sat me in the first row, and the minute Kadeem saw me, he ran over and just gave me all kind of love. It was crazy. It was just meant to be.
He didn't. So how did you all find out that you all have known each other since you were teenagers?
2.5 years go by.
Stop.
And we're sitting at this time I was a stand-in, right? So I had to be sitting there while they were choreographing this scene, and we're sitting in an airplane, like a set that looks like an airplane. And he tapped me on my shoulder. He said, Mike, you remember me? I was like, do I remember you, bro? I've been working with you for the past 2 years. He was like, nah. As a child, do you remember me? I was like, nah, man, what are you talking about? He said, you know Danny Palomo? Danny Palomo is a guy who we went to acting class with. He said, me and you were actors. We were in the same acting class, a Moss Repertory Theater. And boom, it all came.
It all made sense.
It all made sense. And I remembered him. I was like, that's you, because you look totally different, right? I mean, we were 13, and now we were like late 20s, early 30s.
Wow.
Yeah. Some stuff is just supposed to happen.
That goes back to the beginning of this conversation. It's like when you put it out there, it will come back.
Yeah.
And it goes back to the site. Nobody gave you the vision that you weren't supposed to have.
Exactly.
You went down that path. You were HBCU. You ended up on the HBCU set.
Exactly.
You ended up running into your childhood friend that you had no idea. Like, you put the energy out there.
Exactly.
And it's almost like sometimes I feel like God has a plan. He gives you hints, right? He gives you thoughts and moments where you're like, okay, I think that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
But then the plan is so much greater when you follow the trajectory.
Amen.
It's like surprises here, surprises there. Oh, you took that step, I'm going to give you this now.
Absolutely.
And then what you take goes to another something.
Universe is always listening.
Yes.
Without a doubt, it is always listening. It's not quiet, all right? It's always listening. It's up to you to pay attention to all the signs that you get every day.
Wow.
God in the universe, call it what you want. God, universe, Jah, Yahweh, you call it what you want, right? Buddha, whatever it is. But it's always listening, and it's always sending you messages. But it's up to you to be like, hey, okay, this makes sense.
And it goes both ways, right? Because if you're thinking negatively, if you're putting out negative, then that's the path it's going to go down. But you're in power.
Absolutely.
You are in power.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What you think about, you bring about.
Ooh, clocked that one too. That's going in the description. What you think about, you bring about.
It's true. You've heard of The Secret. You've read the book.
Of course.
Right? Okay. So some of it to me is a little hokey.
Okay.
Right? But for the most part, I read that book and I said, you know what? I've been thinking like this all my life without even knowing what I was doing. I was thinking about it all my life because my parents embedded all those thoughts in me as a child. They just every day. So normally, just on a regular basis, I would think like that. I'm good enough. I can do this. This is what I want. Go after it. That's it. My father used to tell me, why are you acting like a follower? Because when I was in Jamaica, right? I was in Jamaica. I came back to New York when I was in junior high school. So trying to assimilate and acclimate to my new surroundings, I felt like I had to, be like them. Because it was different. I was at Jamaica, man, and these little cool New Yorkers, and they was, wearing their nice sneakers, pro-keds at the time, with A.J. Lester's, big buckles. And,
I love how you just turned into this whole character. We're from, okay.
But it's like I had to I felt like I had to try to be like them. And my father would be like, why are you following them? Right. Be a leader. You're a leader. I'm not teaching you how to follow some knucklehead.
I can hear Grampy right now.
You can hear him right now, right? Get out there and do your thing and be a leader, bro. So my parents, they gave me, you already know Grandy and Grandpa, they gave me some crazy tools that I still have in my bag this day that I can pull out and use when I need it.
Well, Dad, thank you.
This is cool.
Even though you had no choice, really, I surprised you. You had no idea that we were doing this today.
Listen, I thought I was going to eat some food. And I didn't eat. My stomach is growling right now.
They're probably picking it. They can probably hear it
up on the microphone, right? So, but thank you. This is crazy. I wasn't expecting it. And I hate surprises. You know that about me.
But there's nobody here. You hate the part of the people.
I hate the party.
You hate the surprise party. But
But this is not necessarily like, a surprise that's out of pocket. This is something that we had discussed, and you spoke it into existence, and you made it happen, and here we are.
And also you were prepared. You're always prepared. And so that was one thing that I didn't have to worry about. Because I was like, oh, my dad stays ready. Because when you stay ready, you what?
You ain't got to get ready.
And that's that on that.
Thank you, DJ Quick. Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too, girl. I love you too. This is fantastic.
Happy birthday.
Episode 1. Yeah, this is dope. Thank you. Let's do it again.
Yes, I'm down.
Yeah.
Mike and Marley.
Mike and Marley.
Etienne came up with that name, by the way.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's another one. That's my son few. Yeah. Feel more like my son than my nephew.
Yeah, it's son few.
My son few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Auntie Cheryl says I'm second daughter. I'm daughter number 2. So.
Yo, I had to check her one time. You already know
okay.
that.
Come on, we got to save all this for the next episode. Because we could just keep going on and on.
I had to check it out.
Oh, Lord. Let's go get this man some food.